Hello everyone and welcome to this edition of the Primetime Newscast in the English language on Canal International. Begin with the top stories. Amidst the heightened demand of vacation times, the journey along the road leading to Cameroon's west regions proves to be a daunting ordeal for travelers with various obligations compelling their journey. Individuals brief themselves before embarking on the treacherous path. To tell you more in this edition of Newscast. An Anglophone crisis in Cameroon has had a devastating impact on the country's banana industry, with exports plummeting to their lowest levels in years. The Cameroon Development Corporation, CDC, the country's largest banana producers, has seen its workforce shrink by over a third and its export figures fall dramatically. Those are major stories. Details right ahead. Good evening once more. Amidst the heightened demand of vacation times, the journey along the road leading to Cameroon's west region of Cameroon proves to be a daunting ordeal for travelers with various obligations compelling their journey. Individuals brave themselves before embarking on the treacherous path marked by rugged terrain. More with our reporter, Saleh Sherifa.
Travelers from Douala gear up mentally to tackle the challenges of National Road Number 5. Despite their preparedness, a palpable sense of concern lingers among parents bidding farewell to their children, the apprehension betraying the underlying risk of the journey. With the state of this road, I don't know whether my children will arrive safely or not. Nevertheless, I have prepared and sensitized them not to step down from the vehicle till they get to their destination.
J'ai préparé les enfants à ne pas sortir.
Due to the obligations we have in the West region where we come from, we are obliged to find ourselves traveling constantly, no matter the bad state of the road. Agency managers step up into the fray, offering reassuring words in a bid to bolster the confidence of erring travelers navigating the path to their destination. We are calling on the government to see through this national road so that our activities will flow normally. As vacation season grips the nation, the westward bound road from Douala emerges as a pivotal artery for travelers seeking reunions. Amidst the sweltering heat and palpable tension, the resolve of the travelers remains unwavering as they set forth on their pilgrimage.
The delegate in charge of the presidency in charge of defense, Joseph Betty Asomo, has announced the dismissal of more than 1,000 candidates from the military training with fake certificates. It follows the over 900 sacks in 2022 for the same reason, for forged documents. More with our reporter, Hysen Shah.
The phenomenon of fake certificate is on a geometric rise in Cameroon, posing a major worry. According to the communique issued by the Minister Delegate at the Presidency in charge of Defense, Joseph Betty Asomo, a total of 1,312 fake certificates have been detected after the publication of the result of the 2024 competitive examination into the military corps. The certificates include GCE Ordinary and Advanced Level, Probatoire, BPC, CAP, and remarkably, 661 of such fake certificates are coming from a neighboring country. The same process in 2022 led to the discovery of some 929 candidates with fake documents, and the bearers immediately dismissed from the military training. The 1,312 already retained candidates, as indicated by Joseph Beti Asomo, are fired with immediate effects. These many hold a warning to young Cameroonians. I salute the effort to flush out the fraudsters. It is a lesson for the youth to follow genuine paths of education. Even at the level of processing certificates, they should go to competent authorities and get authentic signatures. They should flee from agents that may end up providing them with fake documents. The realities of such forged certificates, they insist, will always haunt the individuals. Young people should quit such business, leisure, and easy ways. Embrace hard work to get to the levels of better and excellent performance. We need knowledge capital in our areas of competence. Only merit and efforts can elevate you, especially in this competitive era, where and how they acquire the counterfeit documents remains a major concern.
And 48 hours after the destruction of their homes, they are still without a shelter. Residents of the Yassa district in Douala, whose houses were demolished by the city council caterpillar, spent sleepless night exposed to mosquitoes, as we hear in the following story. With downcast faces, this family stares at the remnants of what was once their home. 2 days after their houses were demolished, the victims of this operation have been unable to leave the site. We are in Yassa, in Douala. The day our houses were demolished, I was at work. I only returned and discovered that all my properties were gone. At nightfall, I sleep on clapboards. If you come here at night, you will see the miserable life people are living here, sleeping under plastics as if they are in a prison. The nights have become unbearably long for these residents. They sleep under the open sky, vulnerable to mosquitoes and criminals. And during the night, we fight with mosquitoes until dawn. That's my life, sleeping now in the open. The more fortunate ones find nighttime refuge in the courtyards of a kind neighbor, such as this mother. I'm from Central African Republic. We have nowhere else to go to. We are forced to sleep here under the mosquitoes. And in the morning, we wake up to our reality. Some still wear the same clothes they had on June 10, the day of the demolition. Left to fend for themselves, they lack the means to secure new housing. I have not taken my bath for 3 days now. No toilets here, no business, no home. And if you want to look for a new home, you have to pay at least 7 months. As darkness falls, the displaced families remain exposed with little hope of immediate assistance. Their plight highlights the urgent need for intervention and support. And after numerous forms of sensitization for traders and sellers to leave the sidewalks, public roads around the Mokolo market in the central region of Cameroon, followed at times by the use of force by the municipal police and a police officer, another option comes to seeing new space to resettle the market's traders. 250 shops and 2,700 sheds are now available for the traders. More with our reporter, Beatrice Ngamu.
Going to one of the most frequent markets in the Mokolo neighborhood under Yaoundé 2, traffic is a permanent phenomenon here. The road space has been reduced. Ambulant vendors and other sellers who've made the sidewalk and public roads their business sites. Sensitization, time and again, to leave this area often short-lived. Municipal police, like normal police use of force, seizing goods and foodstuff, changed nothing. Once they are gone, the sellers are back and continue their disorder, breeding grounds for all sorts of crimes. What pushed for the extension of the Mokolo market? New space for 250 shops and about 2,700 sheds to take the sellers of fresh fruits, ambulant traders off the road. Those selling around the Mokolo Park will be reinstalled here. Those selling material will also join the new space so that reorganization work of their block should start. some tenants of the Whittier market will fit sales in this new space also. Tomato vendors blocking the Whittier market road with their trucks will equally be installed in this space. Then the voice over. The city mayor sounded this warning of firm repression to recalcitrant who, after the 1st September 2024 deadline, will be by the roadside along the Mokolo zone. Measure in place to maintain order, ensure safety of traders and potential clients, as the Mokolo garbage center might also get a fair treatment. Urban disorder, however, has been a general phenomenon in most of the markets here in the capital city.
And the Bandjoun community in Douala turned out in their numbers on June 13, 2024 to welcome their traditional leader, His Royal Majesty Honoré Njomo Kamga, upon his return to the country. The chief, who had been on an international tour, was greeted with exuberant celebrations, as Gladys Ambo-Dibang reports.
At the Douala International Airport, a sea of enthusiastic faces awaiting the arrival of His Royal Majesty Honoré Njomo Kamga, the Superior Chief of Bandjoun. Elites and other sons and daughters of Bandjoun, hailing from the west region of Cameroon, gathered en masse to receive their revered leader. Amongst the throng of well-wishers were women singing and dancing, their vibrant attire a testament to their excitement.
Very happy today to receive my chief. I am happy to be a child of a community Bandjoun and a leader. I am a conseil Bandjoun de Douala. I'm happy to come here to receive my chief.
We are very happy that our chief has returned in good health. Bandjoun women are happy that he is still looking good. From the airport, the Bandjoun community in Douala accompanied their leader to a local hotel. The atmosphere there was even more electric, with traditional dances highlighting the chief's arrival. The rhythmic beats of drums and the graceful movements of the dancers created a scene of cultural pride and unity. His Royal Majesty Honoré Njomo Kamga had been on a tour to several countries abroad, where he met with members of the Bandjoun diaspora. His mission was to encourage them to remain connected to their roots, return home and invest in their community. We are happy about his tour. He did that for us, and that's why we owe him this reception. What he did is what all of us expect, that the diaspora think about Cameroon, come back and invest in the country. That is what he was encouraging them to do throughout his visit. Before heading back to his palace, His Royal Majesty, a former senator, is expected to meet with members of his community in Douala once more. The final leg of his return promises to be grand, as his arrival with more pomp and ceremony awaiting him at his palace.
And the ongoing Anglophone crisis in Cameroon has had a devastating impact on the country's banana industry, with exports plummeting to their lowest levels in years. The Cameroon Development Corporation, CDC, the country's largest banana producer, has seen its workforce shrink by over a third, and its exports figures fall dramatically. More with our reporter Gladys Ambo-Dibang.
The once thriving banana industry in Cameroon is facing a crisis, its future hanging in the balance. The Anglophone conflict, now in its 7th year, has devastated the country's largest banana producer, the Cameroon Development Corporation, the CDC. Exports have plummeted. In 2017, the CDC shipped over 33,000 tons of bananas in the first 4 months of the year. This year, that figure has fallen to a mere 10,000 tons, registering a loss of at least 20,000 tons at the first quarter of the year. The violence has forced thousands of workers to flee their homes, leaving the plantations deserted. The 2022 report of the Technical Commission for the Rehabilitation of Public and Parastatus Companies, CTR, on the situation of public companies and institutions reveals that the CDC has lost over a third of its workforce since 2021. That is, about 5,518 employees said to have left the company during that period. Despite the challenges, the CDC is trying to recover. It has resumed operations in some areas, even achieving record exports of over 3,300 tons in December 2023 and January 2024. But the fragile progress is being threatened by the ongoing unrest. The future of Cameroon's banana industry is uncertain as the company was only able to export 1,890 tons recently. Other banana plantations are also being affected. The CDC's ability to regain its former position will certainly depend on a resolution to the crisis in the Anglophone regions.
And despite a positive working environment as a seasoned court registrar in Bononjo, Douala, Giselle Longi, an albino continues to grapple with societal stigma. Health issues for albinos are exacerbated by misinformation and a myth which Longi condemns as Cameroon joins the world today to observe albinism awareness. The albinos have called on government to include them in the development projects. More in the following story. Giselle Longi, a seasoned court registrar in Bononjo, Douala, has been practicing for over 12 years. Despite her positive working environment, Longi, an albino, continues to face societal stigma associated with her condition.
Customs, I think I can talk about customs of society are very strong. We are seen like a supernatural human being.
Health remains a severe challenge for albinos, often exacerbated by misinformation and myth.
By exposing ourselves on the sun, we can finish with cancer of skin.
Longi frowns upon the prevalent misconceptions surrounding their dietary choices, dismissing them as baseless.
Doctors used to say that albinism is not a matter of special meals that we have to eat. Me, for example, I can eat everything.
Despite sensitization from non-governmental organizations and 10 years of actions to change perceptions, a lot still needs to be done.
By helping women to improve and to improve our self-esteem.
She believes that education and the inclusion of albinos in development projects across the country remain insufficient. Longi calls on the government to implement and enforce laws that protect albinos and facilitate their inclusion at all levels: educational, health, economic, and political. She emphasizes the need for comprehensive policies that ensure albinos are fully integrated into society without prejudice or discrimination. And that's how we saw it on this edition of the Primetime Newscast in the English language on Canal de International. And coming up next is the brief with Lil Piejou. As for me, take another rendezvous, same time, but this time around on Monday. Good night.